just some great stuff for the YouTube.
This is what,
Welcome, everyone.
This is what his facial hair is for. His facial hair.
Sorry, I'll do this the whole time. This will be really great for the people listening to this.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to the Show of Requirement, a Harry Potter podcast. I'm your host, Spencer. I'm joined by my lovely co-hosts, David and Abby. Sorry, I said it the wrong way. David is here, and I'm Spencer, and Abby is also with us. Because we discussed that David has to go first. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you might be having a little giggle, but everyone listening is experiencing no difference.
Yeah, so why aren't you listening to why aren't you watching us, guys? Come on. This is what we did
things, okay? Maybe they're driving, David. We want them to be safe.
I don't want
them
to be
judge.
safe.
I don't watch podcasts on YouTube.
People everybody love it. Tesla that drives itself. All our listeners are rich.
Wear your seatbelts.
Yeah, wear your seatbelts, and please do not watch
just
and
buy
drive.
Warner Brothers and make them make more Harry Potter things. The right Harry Potter things. We'll get into that. So today we're going to talk about some Hogwarts Legacy initial thoughts from David, because Abby and I have not played it yet. Sorry, life is the way it is. And Hogwarts Legacy is not putting it on older platforms for 2 more months. So it's kind of Hogwarts Legacy's fault.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, this is exclusively everywhere, if I didn't already say that. But I am going to pass it off to David to give some thoughts towards his experience on Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, I don't know how long this section's going to be, really. I feel like I've talked about it already a pretty good amount, unfortunately, on our last episode that we did. But I did put a lot more details into what specifically I enjoyed about the game and everything. From the get-go, it's one of the most exciting and addicting games out there right now. I think that is just the general consensus from everyone who's played the game so far. They absolutely love this game, and it's really, really hard to put down. Usually I play about, an hour or 2 hours every day, kind of throughout the week. But this past week, when we didn't record and when I had a lot of free time, I played for 4 to 5 hours a day. I was with Chris Joins, who's a really good friend of ours.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday, Chris. And we were at a kind of conference, and any time that we had free time, we would go back to the hotel. We both brought our TVs, we both brought our Xboxes, and we just played Hogwarts Legacy.
Cody sent me a picture of you guys playing at the conference, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so we played for a good time, just helping each other with specific quests that one of us have done or the other one hasn't done yet. And it was just a really, really good time. It's an incredible environment and open world to explore. And everywhere you go matters. The music changes. It's so different when you jump from location to location. And all the quests, I never felt like when I was doing a quest that it was beneath me or a waste of time. It was a good opportunity to explore. And I just had a lot of fun, even doing side missions. I would do side missions before I would even go to the main story, because you get to go different places and even you could spend a good amount of time. You could play for 4 to 5 hours and never actually touch the main mission. That's how extensive this game is in terms of what it has to offer you. And man, and for someone like me who sucks at Call of Duty, first person shooting games or third person shooting games or whatever, I'm terrible at those. The combat system in this game is so simple and easy to maneuver with and to use, especially with this auto targeting system that you can activate and turn on. I don't care. You can call me a wimp or a wimp for chickening out. I'm so much fun though.
I'm only good at third person shooters.
So. Yeah, I can't play I can't play really those games, but this game has made it where the combat is just really, really easy. And just to kind of break down what this game has to offer in terms of conversations, dialogue, all that kind of stuff. And obviously you have your main quest, like I mentioned. You have your side quests, one of them being Merlin trials, to where you have to go explore the world and find these kind of quick little quizzes to do to activate this kind of statue that's there, and it gives you stuff every time you do a certain number of these Merlin trials. Super, super cool. They have companion quests to where there'll be kids in Hogwarts that will become your friends, that you do stuff, and they have their own stories within the game as well, outside of just the main story. And then you get to do like kind of special like tutoring sessions with your professors in Hogwarts. And so you'll do something with the potions professor, who, I don't think this is much spoilers, but like Professor Sharp, he'll give you like a couple of tasks that you have to do, and then he teaches you like a spell afterwards based on what you already learned and all that. So, man, again, there's just so much for you to do in this game. But one of the coolest parts, and this is not a secret, they kind of let everything's kind of been leaked out of this room, but you get like a special place in the room of requirement of where you get to hone your skills, you get to brew your own potions, you get to plant your own like seeds and plants that you'll need for herbology, all that kind of stuff. You get to deck out the room the way that you want. It's really, really cool. One of the things that I love about this game, which may sound like a small detail to you guys, but it's huge for me, is that you're able to put on the best statistical armor that you have, but then you get to customize how you look, so that way you don't look ridiculous having like a green wizard's hat, like a red sweater. Like
God of War Ragnarok did that, and that was a huge improvement.
Yeah. And so that's one of my favorite things ever. So like you get to have the best statistics in armor and offense and defense, and you get to look good while you're doing it. So it's one of my favorite things in this game. The soundtrack in this is incredible. It fits the wizarding world of Harry Potter so well. It never takes me out of the moment. And they do offer in moments of where you're leveling up or you just completed a quest and you're getting experience, like plays this little catchy little tune that is reminiscent of Hedwig's theme, which is really, really cool. So the soundtrack is fantastic. It changes based on what quest you're doing and where you go. So if you're like around Slytherin kind of territory or whatever in the castle, like the mood kind of shifts into like a darker kind of tone. You go over and you visit your Hufflepuff friends. It's like really light and airy and bouncy and all that kind of stuff. So it does a really good job in the game of functioning in and out of tracks that just fit well with the mood of where your story is going. Now, I do have one complaint about the game, which is on specific quests. So, for example, when you are going and you're exploring and you're completing tasks for professors to learn a specific spell, some of the quest items that they ask for you to use or to gather cost money, and a lot of money. And you run out of that money very, very quickly. And so it's hard to complete some of those tasks and to do all of the things they ask you because you financially you're just strapped and you can't do it. But one of the ways that I kind of worked around that was you just Google, hey, how do I find mandrakes for free? And someone has already figured that out and will send you to a location to get it for free. But
are mandrakes your only way of income?
No, so you need mandrakes for like a herbology quest. Like you have to get mandrakes, and to get like the seeds for it costs like 1,000 coins or 800 coins. Wow. And to get like mandrakes just to get one is like 800 as well. But luckily there is like a place to where you can go and get mandrakes. You just have to travel into the Forbidden Forest. You have to fight in Fury to get it. And it's not easy by any stretch of the means, but it's free. Like I don't have to pay for anything. Yeah.
There's corpses in the Forbidden Forest?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah. They do explain.
It could have been. They could have cleaned it out. The centaurs could have cleaned it out a little bit.
Oh yeah, a lot.
years
Listen,
after.
a lot of things isn't normal in this game. So like, remember in the books of Harry Potter, even as a third year and pass on, there was like specific times you can go to Hogsmeade. I can go anytime I want in this game. Like,
Nice.
it's just like, oh, you're gonna have to wait 3 weeks and then you can go back to Hogsmeade. It's like, well, I need to go sell some stuff, so I'm going to use flu power to get there. It's just like gaming mechanic kind of 101 thing to where you can just go and do whatever you want, really, and explore whatever you want.
So something you haven't touched on at all,
mm-hmm.
and I think it's good for the listeners and for someone like me to know that hasn't gotten it yet.
Right.
Is this, you haven't said talked about the main story at all.
Right. Yeah. Is
that a bad spot on the game?
No.
Is that a weak point?
No.
He just doesn't want to give spoilers.
Yeah, I just don't want to tell you what it is.
But is it good?
Yeah. I think now here's
compared to other games you played of RPGs and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I can go as far as to talk about Madden and their face of the franchise mode, and that storyline sucks because you also start in your 5th year.
Get Madden out of here.
I'm just saying, like
Jedi Fallen Order or
so
another RPG you've played.
Honestly, the main story it's really, really good, and it's challenging though. Like the side quests and those missions are so important to get you into a high enough level. But even then, like again, here's how the combat system works: you can be like a lower level and still be able to defeat the enemies that may be at a higher level. It's just going to take you longer.
This feels a lot like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah, follow-up question. Like. Yeah, what difficulty are you playing on?
I don't even remember.
Oh, I always choose the easiest difficulties because I'm there for the story.
Yeah, I don't know. The options are like story, easy, medium, and like hard levels. If I'm not story, I'm easy for sure.
Okay, because what you're saying here is like, oh, the main story is great, but it's super difficult. Like, well, if you're playing on the easiest difficulty, that doesn't bode well for somebody that say doesn't have or maybe they're not good. They've never played video games before, but they're wanting to try this out.
Well, I said challenging, not difficult, and the only reason why I say challenging is just because if you are at a lower level and all you want to do is story, it's going to take you longer and take you more time to complete the main story because it does require for you to do things. It's not just dialogue the entire time. You actually have to fight people like bosses and all that kind of stuff, like in any other typical game. So really, if I'm saying anything, it's like, if you're going to do the main story, play on story mode. If you're only going to focus on the story and that's all you want, you're gonna want to play on story mode because I guess that kind of helps you out in terms of that. In terms of the main story, we were talking about initially about, man, how are they going to explain this whole 5th year thing? And I remember that when I first played the game in the first week, I didn't get so much into the story because I was really busy about exploring and doing all these different kinds of things and making sure I was at a high enough level to be in the main story and not have to take so much time. But after actually getting more and more into the story, it does explain why you're in the 5th year and you're just getting to Hogwarts. I'm not sure if I want to share it.
Yeah.
In this way, just because it's so crucial to the story. Like there's a good reason why they don't tell you even before the game comes out and why the story is written in such a way to do it. But it really depends on what kind of, like, how you take stories as a consumer. If you believe that a story needs to go a certain way, I would say you're not going to be okay with the way that they explain it. I don't think. But for me, I'm very easy to please. And the way that they did the story makes you as the character very unique and very special. That is unlike any other, which is the whole point of the game, is that if you're starting at Hogwarts as a 5th year, there's got to be something extremely unique about your situation that no one else can say. And they cover that part of the story very, very well. Professor Figs, who's kind of like your mentor throughout this, is so crucial to your story. Headmaster Black is a jerk. And there's a reason why they call him the worst headmaster Hogwarts has ever had.
Simon Pegg, though.
Simon Pegg, yeah.
I'm just concerned about the story. Like, I'm genuinely a little bit worried because everyone that I've talked to that's played this game has almost said nothing about it. Not for the lack of spoilers, but it wasn't like it was. Oh, I love Hogwarts Legacy. The story is really great. It's all so, I'm running around and killing everybody I see, or I'm going to Hogsmeade all the time because apparently you can murder anyone in this game.
I guess I haven't gotten to that part yet. I have seen. So let me address those two things. I think you're overthinking it.
I'm just saying, how much is this a Harry Potter sandbox, and how much of this is a genuine?
I'm gonna repeat myself again. I think you're overthinking it. I think here's
I'm just trying to be the person that hasn't played.
Is what
I'm trying to be every
saying.
person that's not played this game yet.
Well, let me explain it to you, and then you could say something. That is how good this game is. It is so good that even if you're not doing the main mission, you're still gonna have a ton of fun. But the main mission is still good. The main story is still good, but that's not the only good part of the game. And the main mission is just a piece of what this game has to offer across the board. Like, I don't even think I've gotten through a quarter of the story, and I've played about 15 to 20 hours of this game because there's just so much to do and so much to explore. And I don't think anybody goes around just because they don't talk about the main story as like the thing. I don't think that anybody goes around and says, "Oh man, now I got to do the main story." No, no one says that. Now, to address people going off and killing everybody, there's something mentally wrong with those people. I've seen them on TikTok. I know who you are. I know what you're posting. Even before the game came out, everyone was talking about, this is me going into Slytherin and becoming the heir, like the man before Voldemort, killing these muggles. Like, people are really sick and twisted.
They shouldn't let you do that.
TikToks. They shouldn't. And I've seen a video to where you can kill a professor or whatnot. But I mean, Hogwarts Legacy did say before this game came out that you can make decisions of whether you're going to choose the path of light or the path of evil. And they sure gave you that choice.
Wait, so when you kill a professor, do they stay dead?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well,
I didn't. Again, this is like a TikTok. This is like a TikTok 30-second video of someone killing somebody, and then the video ends, and I'm like, okay. But
I would also like to say that I'm not worried about the storyline, but I'm also kind of easy to please. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I might have been lied to, you know.
The
simple answer is no, you can't. The reason behind this is straightforward. You're a student. I don't know.
So I don't know if it like the TikTok video I saw of it was someone killing Professor Garlic, who's the herbology professor, and they just put her in the air and they had the killing curse spell and they killed her, and then the video ended. So I don't know if it's permanent or whatnot.
So there's a PC mod where you can kill anyone.
So that's probably what it was.
And they also put another PC mod in where it changes out the wand for a Glock.
The modders are
again, those are the first person shooters that this game is too slow for them and they need more. That's those people.
I don't know. See, and that's the thing. People are so honestly, you guys need some serious help with what your Harry Potter fantasies are. and what you hope to achieve.
It's not Harry Potter fantasies, David. It's people that have too much time on their hands that don't really care about Harry Potter. They're jumping in and being like, how many people can I kill? It's so ridiculous. So bad.
Yeah.
So toxic. Registered trademark. Any other thoughts, David?
Any
questions for him, Abby?
Honestly, I'm just excited to play it for myself.
Yeah.
I have seen, like, I've purposefully not watched a ton of like playthrough videos.
Yeah.
And so like I know barely anything about the story except for like what like parts of Hogwarts look like.
Like,
so I'm just pumped.
So here's what I will say about the main story. Literally, because you jump in the main story immediately as soon as you create your character and all that kind of junk. And you finish like the first, like you're in the first 5 minutes of it, and everything goes to the crapper. And you're immediately thrown into this like terrible situation. And then once you finish with that terrible situation, it's just like Hogwarts Legacy. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, but it was like so
sounds like
cool.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
It was super cool. And so I was just like, I'm hooked. And yeah, I'm having a really good time playing it. I'm excited to see where the story goes. I'm excited to see how powerful I can become and how I personally can add to Gryffindor's legendary story, really, canonically, in Tier 3.
Tier 3 canon.
In Tier 3
and
canon.
If you don't remember us talking about that, or you missed the episode, we're not going to talk about it again.
Just go back and listen to it.
Whatever the episode is.
No video.
We talked about canon.
To it.
Yeah.
I'm a bit nervous that I'm going to get Hogwarts Legacy and Jedi Survivor in the same month. So I'm going to want to play a video game and Cody's going to want to play a video game at the same time.
And to me, that's one of the scariest things about it. Like,
just don't
I kind of don't want to get
Abby.
Survivor until I finish Legacy. Like I truly have
because I want to play Jedi Survivor. Yeah.
Like I like, to me, I want to finish Hogwarts Legacy, and I think I can before I play Jedi Survivor. And right now I'm just content on focusing on Hogwarts Legacy. Like I can wait on Jedi Survivor personally.
I'm going to do what I did with Fallen Order and wait till Jedi Survivor's like $15.
Yeah. Honestly, that's fair.
I mean, fair. I do want to know what the story is, but I got so lost in Fallen Order that I did not enjoy it most of it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get Jedi Battle Scars, the book. I will read that before the game comes out. Because I kind of did the same thing with Fallen Order, because Fallen Order came out before I had money to buy these things. And so I literally just watched a walkthrough of Jedi Fallen Order before I bought it, because I was like, I'm never going to buy this game because I can never afford it. And then I was able to afford it, but I knew the story already. But I just played through it because I'm like, well, this is cool. I want to play through it. Probably the same thing's going to happen with Survivor. I'll probably watch a walkthrough of Survivor, but read Jedi Battle Scars, so that way I'm like caught up with the full story. That's probably what I end up doing. But you can't do that for Hogwarts Legacy. So
yeah,
I'm going to crank that sucker out.
I did find out that there was a Spider-Man PS4 prequel novel, but way later. So I did read it, but
yeah,
I do need to watch this. So Cody and I watch playthroughs for God of War because we don't have a PlayStation, but I need to do that for Spider-Man too, because I've never been able to play that game.
I did the same thing. I used to watch Spencer play it.
That one.
That's
he was
my play. He was my walkthrough.
Yeah, I watched little bits and pieces.
I don't know if it was me or Luke. Luke played through it in like a day. It felt like.
Yeah,
there was a good minute there where my PS4 was played by Luke more than me, more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Easily more than me. But yeah, I would watch it, Abby. It's really good.
Yeah,
and watch the remastered if you can, because
they
changed the way Peter Parker looks entirely, and he looks better. But he looks, it's really off-putting if you play the first one and now play the second one.
Yeah, you're gonna play,
especially because I played the first one and I didn't get the remastered, and then I played Miles Morales, and I'm like, Peter Parker looks so different. Anyway, I digress. Hogwarts Legacy. Should they get it, David?
Yes.
If you can.
You should. If you can.
If you
can't,
okay.
that it's fine. It'll be waiting for you. And again,
it's not going
because the way the timeline works, like it doesn't matter when you play it. Like it doesn't. There's not like
it's third tier.
Yeah, or there's not like stories coming after it to where you need to know what happens in Hogwarts Legacy for future story or projects or anything like that, which we're about to talk about.
Yeah. Good transition.
Yep. So we wanted to talk about like what's a second topic we can cover on top of initial thoughts, because we didn't have that many to speak of. And a little one that's really kind of in the forefront of Harry Potter fandom is, should they reboot Harry Potter? Alternate title, do we really need a reboot of Harry Potter? The YouTube people will know. They get a little preview of whatever our opinion's going to be. But the listeners also get David's sigh of frustration.
Well, so I have a question, I guess, to kick this off, and maybe you were already going to do this already, but is this a conversation that's happening in the fandom that you've noticed?
Yes.
Can you talk through that of what's been said?
I will. Yeah. So I tried to. So part of it, David, is that Facebook group that we're in. We have talked about it extensively in there. I would say it's probably pretty.
I haven't.
No, not that one.
Okay.
Not that one. The other one.
No. I know which one you were. I know. Either one of them I haven't really kept up on. That we're part of.
Yeah, but the one that all three of us is part of. They don't talk about this very much, but
okay.
The other one, it has been mentioned. It's mostly memes, Abby. You're not missing out on much, but I will invite you. It's mostly memes and references to a podcast that David doesn't listen to, but I do. But it's Harry Potter, so I added him to it. Anyway, I would say it's probably 60-40 no, but there's a certain amount of people in there that have said how the benefits of having one. There also has been, I mean, I get targeted out of the graphics and things that people have put up for ideas of the like anime, like an anime version.
I have seen that.
That's on the list. You've seen that. And then I did scour a little bit, or did a little bit of Reddit scouring to prepare for this as well. So I would say I thought it was a more popular idea than I think it is, according to the internet, but I still think there's enough people talking about it that it's a good thing to cover as a podcast. So many fans are calling for a reboot of Harry Potter for various reasons. What we are saying when people are wanting the reboot is a full-on recreation of the original Harry Potter series, all new adaptations of Sorcerer's Stone all the way through Deathly Hallows. I don't agree with this. I'm just spouting what people are saying. So the first part is, wow. So why this concept? So I don't agree with these reasons. Listeners, I'm just wanting to say it louder.
I love how much Spencer is saying that these are not his reasons, because Spencer's like, I do not want to be associated with this at all.
Yeah, I really don't.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Don't Avada Kedavra the messenger.
That's gonna be the third alternate title. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay. Number one is new cast. Many people feel like a fresh take would be fun, mostly because they want to see new people take on these iconic roles. You guys can throw up your opinions at any time. Interject.
Okay.
We have a great cast. I don't want a new one.
Okay.
Anyways.
So a suggestion that people have mentioned is Adam Driver Snape. Naming the one.
Why would you replace Adam?
Yeah,
Alan
Alec
Rickman's no.
Listen,
you would have to replace them because you're doing a whole new thing. I didn't realize this would get so spicy. Okay. Yeah. So the reason number two is a more faithful...
after Robbie Coltrane too. People are like, no.
This is pre-Robert Coltrane dying.
Go off, Abby.
It's fine.
Go off, Queen.
Keep going.
So the idea is that this could be a more faithful adaptation. Like, kind of defines itself, but the idea is that if they redid it as a TV series or lengthier movies,
I get it.
The general chit chat is for TV.
Yeah,
they could be
I don't
more
know that they would keep it going
books.
For that long.
Money.
Yeah.
If they desired to do it, nothing would stop them.
That'd be so long. It would be like the longest TV show out there.
7 seasons.
But actually, Aragon would go longer. But
Smallville, which was
I guess they're doing Aragon. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, even Smallville, it's a CW show. It was like 11 seasons or something like that. Flash, how long was Flash? It was like 10?
It's on season 9.
It's a lot.
It's on season 9. So
basically 8.5 seasons.
They could do 7 seasons. Now, every episode, like the episode list would get longer every year or every
so season. Honestly, Abby, I think they might try to do 4 seasons for Aragon, but like hour-long episodes. The first book would be, the first season would be like 8 episodes, but then the rest of them would be 12 to 14 episodes.
Listen, I know this is not the point of this episode.
I know.
And I know it wasn't a lot of people's favorite, but Rings of Power was one of those shows to where they had like hour-long episodes. And there were times in the season to where I was just like, oh man, this is taking a while to get through.
That's a good thing to point out when we're talking about this as well. Also, that cost $1 billion. Just want to throw that out there. 1 season of TV. You could have made 4 Avengers Endgames with the cost of Rings of Power season 1.
So
again, this is not the episode we're talking about, but I did
these are
important
things to talk about because
I did enjoy Rings of Power.
Yeah, but would you want them to do that for a series of movies that's already been adapted into all 8 movies?
I don't.
Do we have enough fans that aren't a part of like the cancel culture versus the fans that are like, let's not make any more Harry Potter stuff?
Listen to her and answer the question in the comments.
I think there's a lot of people that would not support this because of She Who Must Not Be Named making money off of it again.
Right.
And I don't want to give my opinion, but there is some solid, what's the word I'm looking for? Validity to that argument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She Must Not Be Named already made $1 bajillion. She's good. And that is not why you should that's not why you should not play Hogwarts Legacy.
Right.
Because other people made that. Anyway. Yep. Yeah, the idea is they could be more faithful to the books, so they could include Peeves and they could include this and that. My argument is there's not enough there to make that worth it.
Yeah.
You could maybe add more to the Goblet of Fire.
Why? Yeah.
Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, but that's really it.
Why'd you guys decide to do a reboot? We just wanted more Peeves. That's really it.
Play Hogwarts Legacy.
We wanted the house
he shows up all the time.
The house elves.
Yeah, we wanted the house. We wanted Winky.
Yep.
It's just little bits. Like they really got the gist of it in the movies, is how I feel. So
it would mainly just be like deleted scenes that people are wanting.
Now I'm interested is the third reason for people talking about it, and I'm interested to see what you guys think. There's a very large argument on the internet that it is going to happen whether we want it or not. This is the most common thread I have found from the internet fans as well as clickbait people. They're not arguing that they should make it. That is also a thing. So some people are like, maybe it's going to happen at some point. So they're not arguing that they should do it, but many are saying they shouldn't. But the thought is, when they do, how should this be done? So that's most of the chat I have read about, is that it's going to happen. Maybe in 2030, but it is going to happen.
They did not reboot Star Wars, but they added the world. So I don't think they'd reboot Harry Potter, but they may continue to add more to the worlds,
That's
like with Fantastic Beasts and stuff.
But I don't think Star Wars has the prequels, and Harry Potter they didn't make prequels. They you could argue they tried to make they've tried to make distant prequels.
It's interesting to
have Must Not Be Named argues that it's not a prequel, but it is to a large degree.
So it's interesting to put these two worlds together, Star Wars, Harry Potter, because obviously Star Wars came from a man's vision in films with Star Wars. this world, Harry Potter, is started from books that were being written. And so I can probably see why there could be that huge difference in terms of that, in terms of, okay, well, and we're going to talk about this because obviously we've all read the outline. But
I have not.
I agree.
I have not read it.
I agree with where you're heading, and I think we're all going to agree with where you're heading. Why? Because, and I know we're kind of jumping all around, and this is I guess the bad part about looking at the outline, but it's an important point to make. Like, why would you remake something that is still being shown in marathon after marathon, not just once a year, but multiple times throughout the year on USA Network and on Sci-Fi? Like, these movies are like, I would understand if the whole remake question was done in a series to where the films for the series were not really liked, i.e. see Percy Jackson's
Aragon.
Like, a remake for those makes sense because it's like, we didn't do it well, so we have to do it again and make sure that this time it's done right.
Yeah, because they're not gonna.
It's
too long. Too much time has passed for them to be like, let's make sequels to these movies that people didn't like.
Yeah,
it's been
but with Harry Potter, people love these movies.
Yeah, I don't know that I've met somebody who's
like
been
them. They love these movies.
I've never heard someone go, "Those are bad movies."
So I have, but
yeah,
they're not the common populace.
I would say I'm not reading all the Reddits and
I'm not a Redditor. I took on that role for
this. He Reddits for research.
There you go.
Use it as a
podcast research. Yeah. It's true. Okay, so these are kind of the three options that I've read online that are the most popular options for doing a remake of Harry Potter. So the first one, we've already spoken this, a live action, Rings of Power, Game of Thrones budget level, television series, 1 season per book. Number 2 is an anime or / Studio Ghibli version. Don't Google this, listener. Do not Google it. Things will come up that are not for children's eyes. Just trust me. But I actually kind of like the idea, but not enough that they should actually do it.
It's
and
nice
then number 3 is and then number 3 is doing all the movies again. Just throw it up there. With the hands. It's good for YouTube. It's
good for YouTube.
Content, David. Content.
I don't know. I like the idea of like a Harry Potter's like visions, you know. But
That's
I
what I'm
still don't know that
saying.
it'd be a reboot.
Or you could do like pieces. Like, you don't have to do the whole series, but you could do little things here and there, or little fun scenes or action sequences.
I still don't think I'd want a reboot. But
I think a Harry Potter anime would be really awesome, though. Not necessarily the series again, but like doing a new series.
Yeah.
Tier 2 canon, David. Or Tier 3.
Yeah.
So, reasons this will not / should not happen, and all of these are, we already kind of discussed it.
We shared some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we already discussed it. We already discussed most of them. So I don't think I have any more to mention besides the fact that it's not going to happen because of She Who Must Not Be Named, both because she won't let it or doesn't want it to be remade, or because people don't like her anymore. For
either way,
reasons.
She's part of the reason.
She's part of the reason.
One way or
it's
another.
probably the largest reason. But I just wanted. Now, I thought this is a fun. Let's end this episode on a good note. I made this list. I made a fun list because we all know we all talk about this stuff all the time. Ideas that would actually be good.
Sorry,
so number
I'm just
one.
not reading.
Yeah, you can.
I
react to these.
had not read the outline, and I'm realizing that I said some of the same things that my mom apparently said.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. But that's funny. She and I are usually on the
same wavelength.
Let's rephrase this section as Spencer's ideas. That would actually be good.
I really like your first one, and I'd love to speak on that after you present it to the class.
Yeah, so number 1 is
Love
an
it.
audio series version, like an audiobook, but a whole voice cast to play characters. This would be awesome, but it wouldn't make money.
It wouldn't make money. It's purely for the joy of it. I love Jim Dale. I think he, out of the two, this could be a hot take, but out of the two,
we're Jim Dale fans.
Jim Dale.
I do like Stephen Fry.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. I would love to get Jim Dale to voice one of the characters. Whichever.
So I'm thinking Jim Dale does the narrations and characters that have passed, like actors that have passed. But then in the mix, you get.
I volunteer as tribute.
You get. Maybe you get new actors for the young kids.
I'm auditioning for the role of
once it gets to like, once we get to Goblet of Fire, Dan Radcliffe can come back, Rupert Grint can come back, and like a lot of those characters that we know and love. I think that would bring a whole new layer onto it. That would be really fun and enjoyable. People would go nuts. It wouldn't make money, but people would go nuts.
But would it be a reboot if you're using the same people to do things?
No. These are not
just
reboots.
Fun project.
So this is kind of separate. This is a little separate. I get it.
Yeah.
This is in lieu of we have spent a few minutes establishing why we're not going to do a reboot. So these are some things they could do that would satisfy reboot people, but would also be good in general.
The outline ahead of time. Keep going.
Yeah, this is why you should read the outline ahead of time. Okay, so the second option is an RPG video game series. They already have the map and combat and everything from Hogwarts Legacy, and so they could start adapting them into video game form in some form or fashion. I think that's
better than the beans in Goblet of Fire.
The blue beans are worth more. Go back to our video game episode if you want to hear about the beans. What does Ron say? There's nothing like good beans.
Yes.
Okay. So number 3 is just a very broad answer of expanding the universe. Just tread new waters. Do a Hogwarts Found series. Do some Harry Potter anime if you so desire. Do a series on Quidditch. Do a Draco Malfoy series, which we pitched one. Do other series between Deathly Hallows building up to Cursed Child, because the actors are still too young to do that. And I also don't think I want them to do Cursed Child anymore because of Robbie Coltrane and Alan Rickman passing away.
It'd be sad.
I think they're going to do it at some point. But
I don't feel like you could recast, but you can't leave them out because
I think
those
they
are
would.
important characters.
I think they would write them out.
They'd either write them out or use Lucasfilm technology.
Yeah, which isn't terrible. It's gotten better.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Book of Boba Fett; it was pretty darn good. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty darn good.
Don't. I'd rather them recast or somebody or maybe the voice actor does a really good impression of them, kind of like they did with the Toy Story movies and Slinky.
Yeah.
Do you guys know about that?
His brother
I
did.
think I do.
Or his brother
no,
did, right?
No, you're thinking of Tom Hanks in the Toys.
Oh, yeah.
Slinky's the actor that played Slinky passed away, and his best friend came in to voice him because he could do his friend's voice really well. For Toy Story 3 and 4. And then Don Rickles passed away before Toy Story 4, Mr. Potato Head, and they used archival stuff. That's why.
But that works with animation.
I know, but that's what I would want. It's just a cute story.
You look at Rogue One, and they have Governor Tarkin in it.
We've come a long way since Rogue One. Also,
no, but I'm saying in terms of the voice for it.
You know,
like,
and
it was a really good Tarkin.
It's true. And they also did Red Skull. But that's not because Hugo Weaving's dead. He just didn't want to come back. Which cracks me up more. Okay, moving on. Number 4, finish Fantastic Beasts with one more movie.
Have we heard anything?
No. I don't. It's probably
dead.
Not going to happen. It
is dead.
It's not going to happen. Unfortunately,
it is dead in the waters of the Black Lake.
Eddie Redmayne is done.
Wow.
It's not. I mean, he's not done. It's just the movies aren't being made anymore. I bet if they did another one, he'd come back.
He'll never work again because of you.
But if they did a fourth one, it may not make that much money. But who knows? Maybe if She Must Not Be Named was not involved at all, people would see it.
It's never. People are going to think she's involved anyway. So,
or maybe she could fund the whole thing.
Don't give her ideas, Abby. Could do it.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one is objectively the best answer and the easiest one for them to do. Make the freaking extended editions of the Harry Potter movies, put all the deleted scenes in, and just print money. Everyone will buy them. Or if they want to get people on HBO Max, people would flock to rewatch these movies.
I'd watch it. I'd watch it right now if they dropped it.
If they dropped extended
we do a
editions,
live stream right now on YouTube.
Yep.
We would drop everything we were planning to do for the podcast to do a rewatch series for that reason only.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm just saying it would be so easily successful.
Yeah. We need to do a rewatch series anyway.
I don't know how we'll do that, but because we're doing the books.
Oh yeah, so I'm talking about like 10 years from now when we have like our own headquarters and this is like all we do and stuff, and we have the time.
Correction.
When we're all moved to California, when we buy
out of content.
We reboot.
No. When we buy Harry Potter, all the licensing and everything, we take ownership, and we have to watch all the movies and stuff to create new stories, like as like ideas and all that.
After we release the extended editions.
Oh yeah, that's literally first thing we do. First thing we do as soon as we take it over.
The very
release those bad boys in theaters. We'll make more money off of it.
That's what I'm saying. You could release them in. You could release them in theaters.
Yes, you could.
I would go see it.
It would make money.
They would.
It would.
They would.
Yep.
Even if She Must Not Be Named made money, I think it would still make money if they re-released them.
My mom and I are going to go see the Philharmonic play along with the Sorcerer's Stone at the Civic Center in April.
That sounds dope.
I want to do that, honestly.
Because Cody and I watched A New Hope with the Philharmonic playing the soundtrack while the movie was going. And so my mom and I are going to do
I know Luke did that with Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
He and Micah did that.
It's really cool.
Yeah. I saw some people did that. They post videos about it all the time with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And they someone went in and saw that with the live orchestra.
Yeah.
And they said that it was probably the most emotional watching of the movie because you feel the music here. Mm-hmm. You feel it. So in the whole scene of where you're in Snape's memory, you just feel the music. You just feel the score, and it's so agonizing. That's the one I want to see. Mm-hmm. If I were to choose one, I choose that.
Which isn't John Williams.
It's not John Williams.
Still really good.
Yeah. I think it's Alexander Desplat.
Yeah.
Desplat. Yeah.
Really good.
Great score.
He did Little Women.
It's a fantastic score.
It's an amazing score. Probably one of my favorite. What?
Yeah.
He did Little Woman. The new one.
Love that movie.
It's a great movie.
I cry 14 times every single time I watch that movie. I'm not ashamed. So don't come after me in the comments.
I just thought of Friends when Joey gets Rachel to read some book and she gets him to read Little Woman and he can't put it down. And he spoils something for her and she goes, and then what's the kid that dies? Betty?
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
anyway,
Beth.
I think Rachel or Beth. Yeah, she goes, Beth dies.
Beth. In the actor.
He's like, yeah. And they make her lie. They make her lie to him and go, Beth doesn't die. Oh, thank God.
You know who's in Little Women? Emma Watson.
Because
we think she's a good actress.
We think she's, Washington Sentinel, come at us.
Anyways.
You better
written in /review. Yeah, please leave a review if you're listening. Please leave a like. But it's just so interesting the feedback we do receive on things. It's like mega fans, which we love you guys. But mostly it's random people from like the UK or Washington Sentinel. It's like,
we need to talk about
where did they come from?
Let's end with that. Yeah. It's... Oh, okay.
Anyway, thanks guys for listening. Should they remake Harry Potter? No, absolutely not. Should you play Hogwarts Legacy? Yes, if you're able to. If you want to. If you don't want to,
if you could afford it,
okay. Yeah. If you can afford it, 800 nuts.
Yeah.
But as for Abby and David, this has been a Show of Requirement Harry Potter podcast, Mischief Managed.